Hello, and welcome to this edition of IDG Chit Chat Live for the week of November 16th, 2015. My name is Shannon Combs-Bennett. I'm the creative director for the In-Depth Genealogist, and joining me this evening are publisher Jen Alford, our editor, executive director, whoops, Terry O'Connell, and our special guest, Heather Wilkinson Rojo from Nutfield Genealogy. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining me this evening.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Shannon.
Um, I'm so excited to have Heather on this evening. She's one of my favorite blogs that I read. So I like talking to people who write blogs. But go ahead, Jen.
I think it's cool to get to meet some people that you get to know through their writing, and then to see what they're like in person. A lot of times it definitely shows through their writing, and so it's very cool to get the chance to chat with you, Heather.
Oh, thank you. This is fun.
Since I'm a member of the Mayflower Society along with Heather, I keep telling myself I'm going to make it up there for one of the activities. But I have to get there first.
Well, one of the congresses.
Yes, that's a plan.
Every 3 years.
Right. And I'm hoping that by the time the next one comes along, I will finally have all of my husband's paperwork together. And that's actually one of the things we wanted to talk to you tonight, seeing as it is November and people have the Mayflower on their mind. But we thought we would talk if you had any insights into not only the society, but insights into researching Mayflower ancestors. Because believe it or not, we get asked that question a lot. Maybe it's just me, but I get asked by people at conferences or lectures I do, especially if it's on one for lineage societies. They all want to find a Mayflower passenger.
And they all want to know in November.
Yeah.
Right. A week before.
Yeah.
You can do that, right?
So if they start now, maybe next Thanksgiving.
There you go.
And it's good to see it's not just the people that want, are going across the seas next week that want to find that ancestor rather quickly.
Yeah.
But do you, who are your Mayflower ancestors? I'm blanking on that right now.
I joined under Isaac Allerton.
Okay.
I also have Miles Standish and John Howland on both my mom's side and my dad's side.
Wow.
And that means I have Elizabeth Tilley, his wife, and her parents, and there's George Soule and Edward Doty.
Oh, that means you're a cousin to my husband. He has George Soule, Stephen and Giles Hopkins, and Brewster. Yes, I said that right, didn't I? Yeah.
Giles Hopkins is Stephen Hopkins is my favorite pilgrim. I wish I was related to him too.
He's my husband's favorite, and I think because we live in Virginia, that
Yes.
the whole Jamestown thing helps. And my husband loves it that even the Mayflower, the Pilgrims made him sign the compact because they thought he was a radical. And my husband's like, if they think you're a radical, you might be way out there.
Yeah.
But he just finds him fascinating.
So he can join the Jamestown Society after you have the lineage proved, and the Cask and Flagon Society.
I know, he gets all those cool ones.
Yes. And there's something in Bermuda too for founders or settlers. When I was in Bermuda, that was interesting to find out. So.
Oh, see, that's just an excuse to go to Bermuda.
You just give us all envy now.
No.
There's a nice cruise from Boston every summer.
Ooh. I'm gonna write this down. Making summer plans.
So right now I had put off for years one of my John Howland lines because it goes through Nova Scotia, where there are no vital records at this time period when my ancestors went up as planters and then came back to Massachusetts. So they were in Massachusetts, down in the Cape, and then went up to Nova Scotia and back. So this is a line that I have not wanted to do, not for the proofs. And then a cousin on my dad's side of the family wants to join the Mayflower Society. This is the only line on my dad's side.
Oh, wow.
So all, on my mom's side, everybody who wanted to could use my line.
Right.
So I'm working on it now, and my Allerton line, I have to say, I was born in.
Uh-oh.
So I just had to go to Salem, and
So very
maybe
close then.
and two other communities to get records, and it was really awful when I tell people this story, and they've been working their way across the United States and back and spending years, and I had this really easy line, but now I understand because I've been working for, I don't know, 10 years on this John Howland line. I still haven't proven it, but now I have a granddaughter, and I want to go in, I want her to join in under John Howland with this line. So I've got my work cut out for me.
Now, is there an age limit? Does she have to be a certain age to join?
No, we had a 6-week-old baby at our last meeting, and he wasn't even the youngest. We had someone had their baby join just days old. I mean,
I love it.
that's
That's
the fun thing about the Mayflower Society. It's not like DAR, it's just ladies.
right.
The whole family can join, and the whole family can participate.
Oh, that's awesome.
So at the triennial conferences down in Plymouth, the kids dress up and they do the Pilgrim's Progress with the adults, and it's a lot of fun.
I already have an outfit.
Why are we not shocked?
And my kids do too.
I'm not shocked.
If you don't have one, they have them at the Mayflower House. You just go down in the basement and put one on and join in. So
Oh, that makes it
That's
easier.
cool. Yeah,
Terry is working on Mayflower. Oh, sorry, Jen. What were you saying?
Oh, I just said one of these days I want to go because I'm a William Bradford descendant, though I've not joined the Mayflower Society yet or even tried to submit anything. But I would love to go to Plymouth Plantation and check all that out and see.
just go for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you could drop by the Mayflower Society Library and maybe
Mm.
find something there that'll help if you ever do want to.
It's a good place to visit on a very hot day.
It's nice and air conditioned.
Oh my word. I walked up the hill. I was probably the color of Jen's shirt by the time I got up there. And it's really not a far walk, but it was really hot.
Yeah.
They were all concerned about me as I walked in. They're like, go to the bathroom, put cold water on your face.
Did you walk up from the Mayflower down below on the harbor?
From the rock.
Yep, from the rock.
Yeah.
If you haven't been there, there's the waterfront and then a big hill, and the Mayflower House is right on top of the hill.
It's cool.
Oh my God, Terry, you've been someplace I haven't.
I know, and it's close to you. Hello.
Close?
Well, closer than what it is to me. You're in Virginia.
Yeah, the closest I've been to Boston, and that's the furthest north I've been.
But we took a trip maybe in '05. I'm not sure, but it was my aunt and my cousin, and we drove to New York to where my dad's people were from. And we decided when we were planning we wanted to go see a couple things and really enjoy the week. So we did New York City, we did Boston, we did Plymouth. So we went to Canada. We did a lot.
Wow.
Very cool.
So
Very cool. So Heather, you were with the governor of New Hampshire this week, is that right? For the annual proclamation signing? Is that done?
Yes,
by Governor?
that's something we do every year. It's a small state. We just get the members together and we go attend the proclamation, the sign,
But it
every
has to be
year.
really neat. I mean,
I don't know if every state does that.
You know what?
The
I
president does it. The
I should
president has the proclamation.
I should dig up my Virginia Society newsletter. It's here in my office.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh, Terry's looking for something.
You
There.
got it?
The Virginia Society newsletter. It hasn't been opened yet.
Oh, you got the Virginia Genealogical Society newsletter. Sometimes they put it in there, but I was looking for the Virginia Mayflower Society.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't have that.
See, I only have one line. Well, they married each other, so is that two?
That's two.
So it's John Alden and Priscilla Mullins, and then my family left
her
New
parents.
England, and then her parents. That's right.
So yeah.
So wow, I have four, but I always forget parents.
Oops.
But see, my family, they all quickly left New England, so that's the only line I have through my dad's side of the family.
Well, I'm jealous that you all have a line. I have the maybe line.
I know. Terry needs advice.
No, I
And a
just need-
research fairy.
Right, that's what I need, is somebody to do the research out in Massachusetts. I have my Richmond line from West Virginia, obviously goes back to Virginia, and there is a little bit of a gap, but everybody says that they are adamant that this Richmond line goes into Abigail Richmond, who was Thomas Rogers' daughter. But there's no real definitive proof at this point, which was why I walked the hill to the Mayflower Society, because I wanted to see what possibly they might have. And they have absolutely zero.
I don't think that is there a Thomas Rogers silver book?
I have no clue.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I don't know if there is.
Do you know what the silver book is, Terry and Jen?
Isn't it the list of all the? I'll find something to write on.
I have a whole shelf of them over there, but I don't have Rogers. I don't know if there is a Rogers.
Isn't it the book of like their descendants?
Yeah,
The first 5 generations.
Okay.
and there's one for each,
Well, not
or
every.
not everyone.
Not every. Some of them are in progress. They're called the pink books because they're in progress.
Hmm.
I have a pink book for George Soule over there. I only have the books for my ancestors, but
Yeah, see.
and Howland is a blue book for some reason, but
Yeah, Alden is 4 volumes, and
I believe it. Yeah.
yeah, but I only had to buy volume 1 and 4. I was very excited. Volume 4 came out this year.
I have 1 and 3 for Howland because he had 10 children.
Oh my God.
So I don't, and they haven't written all the volumes yet. They've only done 4, I think.
Wow.
And those are the blue ones for some reason. But that's what you should consult, is to see if there's a silver book for Rogers, and if not, is there a project going on for
There
Rogers?
is a book. I pulled it up on the Mayflower, the General Society, the Mayflower Society.
Okay. You need to find a copy of that book
Yeah.
somewhere to consult.
I'm sure Newberry probably has it. I just need to get down there and do my own research instead of just being there for society meetings. But
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of larger libraries carry most of them, or can get them. So
well, Newberry's really good. They've told me in the past if there's something that we don't have, let us know. We'll do our best to get it. So
that is awesome.
Because
We
you
have
have that
librarians
kind of pull,
there.
right?
What's that?
I said you have that kind of pull, right?
That's exactly it. I have the pull. Not. No, they're just very good librarians there. So that's, yeah, I'm holding up. My son calls me probably once a year to ask, have you proven it yet? He just wants to tell people that he is a Mayflower descendant.
There are some people where that's a very, very important thing.
My son is goofy.
It's nice to know that outside of New England it's important too. I thought it was just here.
Well, I don't even think it's like the whole Mayflower thing. And my son is he was a poli-sci major, and it's all about the Mayflower Compact.
Hmm.
It's all about Thomas signing it.
See, Heather, my grandmother thought it was really cool because she was the granddaughter of immigrants. So her family, came over in the mid 1800s. But my grandfather's line went back, and there was a family genealogist. His great aunt was doing genealogy, the old way in the 50s, 60s, and 70s by actually, going places in her little beat up car and doing handwritten letters. And so my grandmother found out through this woman that there was a connection, and the entire family didn't believe her. And so it became my mission after I started doing genealogy more and more and more to prove grandma right.
Oh, that's a great story. I like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I my mother grew up in a town where it was all estates, big giant estates of rich people, and she babysat for a family, the Standish Bradford family, and
Wow.
she never thought that our family was related to those people. Um, and when I found out, I thought she was going to cry. She thought, we're from Salem. That's not anywhere near Plymouth. Well, in the scheme of things, it's very close.
Right.
Um, then she found out, I told her, well, Mom, you've got 11 Mayflower passengers in your family tree. So she and I joined together, and
Awesome.
it wasn't known in our family. Nobody knew. Nobody had,
That's good to know
nope.
because
My parents didn't know their ancestors at all. And I married my husband. He's a first generation American. He thinks it's the coolest thing. That he's a first generation and I'm like the 15th generation.
well, that's good to know because I've had people tell me, come on, like really somebody in your family didn't pass on the story, where we descend from the Mayflower. That's like an important thing here. So it's good to know that other people have come and said, no, we had no clue.
Yeah, my
No,
family.
we had absolutely no clue.
What?
There's hope for me. There's hope.
Yeah. I mean, really, until I started researching my mom's side of the family, her Morse line, I had no clue, that they had come over that early, or that we had a tie to the Pilgrims. So I think it was about 2 years ago that I found that out. And my mom made such an announcement at Thanksgiving dinner. It was hilarious because it happened to be, I think it was last year, or maybe the year before, when they had Thanksgiving and Hanukkah on the same night.
Mm-hmm.
So not only were we celebrating Thanksgiving, but we were lighting the candles for Hanukkah. And she was like, calling all of us around, all my sisters and everything. And she's like, okay, well, all of you Bradford descendants, come over here, and we're gonna sing the songs for Hanukkah. And everyone's like, what, Bradford descendants? And she was like, yes, we descend from the Pilgrims. And it was just so cute. I was just like,
That's
cool.
That's awesome. That's a good story.
Thanks.
Did we lose her? Oh,
Nope, she's
there
still
she is.
there. Yeah.
Well, this Thanksgiving, I'm giving my 3-month-old granddaughter her membership certificate.
Yay! Oh.
Cute.
Now, will that be blogged about?
If we get a good picture, I will.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I got to get my kids in.
I'm surprised you haven't.
Well,
really.
I gave
Well,
them
this is just the junior membership.
yeah. I gave them the choice, and they wanted to join the CAR,
Right. And they're loving that, so that's
and
good.
they are loving that. So I'm very happy about it. So I will let them continue down that path as long as they wish.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Same line. I got into everything on one family line.
That's what I figured. If I ever join DAR, it's already done. It goes through 2 patriots.
That's right. Yeah, I sat down one time and figured out from this one line through my father's family that goes back to John and Priscilla that I could join 16 different lineage societies off of that one line.
Wow.
That'd be costly.
Yeah, it would be very costly, so I'm being very selective. So, but I've joined the Mayflowers, the DAR, 1812, and I have an application into Colonial Dames, all on the
They
same.
never replied to me, the Colonial Dames.
Okay, we will work on that for you.
Well, the Illinois representative never replied to me.
Oh, okay.
The person we talked to in St. Louis went back and forth with me a little bit.
That was very nice of her.
Yeah.
So Heather, before we talk your ear off about pilgrims and Mayflowers, and I'm even going to think about dinner next week, we all wanted to talk a little bit about how your posts that you do on weather vanes got started, because it's fascinating. We all have pictures we want to send you.
Well, there's two ways it got started, and both of them are real accidents. As I go around photographing local history and everything, well, my husband does all the photography, and he doesn't just take a picture of the house or the neighborhood. He likes the little architectural details. So he'll get a picture of the house for me, but he'll take pictures of the windows and the doors and the garden. And if the glass is old, he'll get some pictures of the glass. And some of the houses had weather vanes, and I noticed one day I had a whole file of weather vane pictures already taken.
Wow.
And I was thinking, well, these are scattered all around. What weather vanes are right here in my neighborhood? Right, Nutfield is the part of New Hampshire that was first settled by the Scots-Irish. In 1718, and the grant of land was called Nutfield, and that was divided up into Londonderry and Derry, New Hampshire, and now it's several towns. So I started just going around town doing some of the weather vanes. Those are my first ones that I posted. And then I remembered I had an ancestor who was really famous for weather vanes. His name was Shem Drown. And he was born in Maine, but he worked as a tinsmith in Boston, and he did the Old North Church weather vane.
Oh, wow.
And if you've ever been to Quincy Hall in Boston, Faneuil Hall, there's a grasshopper weather vane there. That's very famous. In Boston, people have that as jewelry and Christmas ornaments. And he did that one. He did several other weather vanes that are attributed to Shem Drown. So that was my genealogy connection. And I just started doing every Wednesday weather vanes, and now I'm on my 245th, I think I just posted.
Oh my God.
It's been several years of just every Wednesday a weather vane. I have a huge file. I've got them pre-posted through April or May next year.
Wow.
That's dedication.
And some that I haven't even written the post for yet. I just found some good ones recently. But most of them are local. Some we found when we were traveling, like in Spain. And a few of them have been sent to me by people. Like we were discussing earlier, you had a good one. So send it to me. I'll put it on for Weather Vane Wednesday.
I sure
Well, I love
will.
that you picked them up. I remember I posted when we were in South Carolina, I posted a picture of a house, and you were like, "Oh, check out that weather vane." I'm like, I haven't even noticed it.
Nobody notices weather vanes.
Didn't even notice.
Sometimes I'll post one and someone will say I've lived in that neighborhood for 30 years and I never knew there was a weather vane on top of that house.
How do people not notice?
And it'll be
these
a
things?
really interesting one too, because I've photographed some really interesting weather vanes that are one of a kind, and people will say, I didn't even know it was there, let alone that it was so weird or unique or funny. You know, some of them are funny, but
I'm kind of like your husband. When we go places, I take my camera with me, and we go, like to museums and out for the day and stuff, and I'll take, pictures of the historical things that we're doing, and then the next thing you know, I'll be like on the ground getting that artistic shot of, through the trees of the
Mhm.
archway and the windows, and my kids will go, "What's mom doing?" "Oh, she's being artistic."
that's how it all started.
We
And
took
I can't believe that I've done so many. Um, so that's been like 3 or 4 years worth of weather vanes.
Wow. What were you saying, Terry?
Oh, just going into your artistic, we took some very cool ones when we were in the area my family was from in Ireland. There is a old cemetery that used to be connected to the church. Well, the church was burned down in the 1600s, and the people are now buried basically to what was the inside of the church and then the outside of the church, so you can kind of walk through very carefully. But we were getting the through the doors, through the windows, whatever crazy shots you can.
That's cool.
Yeah, I have to go. We took so many pictures, so.
It was your first time to Ireland. Of course, you took lots of pictures.
Oh my gosh. 2 cameras, the both of us shooting all day.
Wow.
Well, we're coming up on the end of our time. So, is there anything that we haven't touched on, covered, talked about? Any questions, comments that anybody would like to make in the last few minutes of the show?
Well, I have a question. Heather, you said that you've got the Weather Vane Wednesdays pre-posted out to like maybe May of next year, April or May. How much time do you spend blogging per week?
Um, I don't know. I spend most mornings on the computer, either writing the blogs or doing research or on Facebook or something. So, and that's probably every morning. Um, so I don't know what that adds up to. I don't know.
Well, I just love that you're so far pre-posted, even if it was just on those Wednesdays, because
It's only the weather.
I'm lucky if I got to post it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I was
Well,
thinking
some are
that's
easy.
dedication.
I always have a Saturday post on a surname. I'm not. Maybe got 2 of those already posted, but not like the weather vanes. The weather vanes are easy. When they come in, it's post the pictures, and I rarely have to research the story unless it's his place I'm not familiar with. But
Okay.
most of,
Well, that's
most,
cool.
most of them are the church where I was baptized, or a church where an ancestor was married, or something like that.
Mhm.
I like how you draw the family connection a lot of the time. That's neat.
Yeah.
I like being able to draw those connections to odd places or objects or points in history. Makes everything a
That's
little more
usually why I'm there, and then I say, "Oh, there's a weather vane."
Perfect.
How about you, Jen? Anything else you'd like to say tonight?
I did want to say one thing. Heather recently wrote an article for the FGS forum, and it was all about the Mayflower Society. So if you are a member of a society, you might want to talk with one of your officers and see if you can get a chance to log in and take a look at that, because it was really interesting. I enjoyed reading it and helping do the layout. So check
Was
it
it
out.
this issue or a past issue?
It was the summer issue, I think. Right,
Yeah,
Heather?
it was in the summer. It was in the summer, and it was on how to join, the
Yeah.
steps that you have to go through.
I remember reading it. I just couldn't remember what issue it was in. It was a really great article. This reminded me, I was planning on writing you and asking you if I could use it as a reference in some stuff. So So I will talk to you more about that later.
Well, it's funny. After I read your article, now I've known I have Mayflower descendants, and I never really felt any desire to join. But after reading your article and hearing about the anniversary celebration that's coming up, I was like, ooh, I need to join before that.
Oh, that's a big. You wouldn't believe how the applications are rolling in because of 2020. It's the 400th anniversary.
Yeah,
Um,
amazing.
we're a small state here in New Hampshire, but applications have doubled, and I think we processed about 50 applications this year,
Wow.
which is big for us. Uh, so I can't imagine the larger states like Massachusetts or Virginia or California. They must be. It's some of the historians are being overwhelmed at this point, and I'm thinking it's still 5 years away.
Oh my God.
So they're
Let's keep it
addressing
going.
that
I have
down
5 years to figure mine out.
they're trying to come up with, but they're addressing that down in Plymouth. They're trying to get help to the historians and some assistant historians and
I have
smoothing
seen
out
some
the
job
process.
postings.
Yes, because they need help down in Plymouth too. At one point they were very backlogged, but it's picked up. They're starting to process them faster, but I don't know if it's exponential, which I suspect it will be. It's gonna be interesting.
It gets crazy around those anniversaries.
I think the same thing happened in 2007 for Jamestown. They had
Oh,
a similar situation there.
I'm
That
sure.
was their 400th anniversary.
Yeah, that was the year we moved to Virginia, and I, not being from Virginia, we moved here, and I'm like, people are kind of crazy right now. What's going on? It's 400th anniversary this year, and we're like, oh, okay. And it wasn't just the society; the entire state went nuts for a whole year.
Yeah,
Wow. Cool.
that's
Queen
gonna
came
happen.
too.
That's gonna happen in Plymouth because they're planning from the arrival of the ship in November of 2020 through November of 2021 for the first, that'll be the 400th anniversary of the first Thanksgiving. There are events all during that year
Oh my
that it will
God.
be commemorated. In the spring when Squanto came out of the woods and said, "Welcome Englishmen," they're going to commemorate that. And all, it's going to be interesting to see
That's
how they
really
pull
cool.
all this off.
Yeah.
I say let's head to Thanksgiving. That would be so cool.
It's 6 years from now. We can plan that far out.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Heather. It's been a great time. I've learned a
Thank
lot
you for
tonight.
inviting me.
You're very welcome. Anytime you want to come back, you have something to tell us, just let us know. Thank you, Terry and Jen, for once again being my cohorts and keeping up with us a little bit here. For We do not know when we'll be back. We'll probably do another episode, maybe 2 in December, but as we've been talking, the holidays are upon us, so goodness gracious knows what's going to be happening to all of our schedules. But definitely look for us in January when I hear that we have a debut of some Genealogy TV happening.
Woo.
Woohoo! So yeah, remember, when Genealogy TV starts back up, you will see us on a weekly basis again. And on that note, have a great evening. Thank you for joining us. If you like what you hear, like what you see, check us out at theinduftgenealogist.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great evening and good luck researching your ancestors. Bye.